movies. Here we go. Stand by, everybody. Mix to camera 2 and cue Sonia.
Hello. In a packed show today, we'll be looking at games based on TV shows, including The Riotous, Beavis and Butthead.
That's super. That's marvellous. Terrific. Now cue Sonia for the review sequence.
Our main review is Comic Zone on the Mega Drive.
It's looking good, good, good. Now run the violet, VT.
And I'll be appearing on the cable TV show Video Game Slams. And hopefully we'll be meeting the Invisible Games reviewer. Now, where is that guy?
I'll be seeing you.
Cue Sonia!
Now, there isn't a bad influence video game yet, but lots of other TV shows have inspired games designers. One of my favourite shows is the cult cartoon series Beavis and Butthead, and that's just been released on the SNES and Mega Drive. This is the Mega Drive version. In the game, the decidedly non-dynamic duo have just got to get to a heavy metal concert, and it's up to you to help them find the tickets, performing various gross and antisocial acts along the way. It's like, cool. Or it would be if it was as good as the series. And actually, it ain't happening, dude.
Cartoons are all very well, but sometimes one yearns for something a bit more realistic and meaningful, something that will entertain without losing its relevance to our everyday lives. Something like Thunder in Paradise, the action series starring wrestler Hulk Hogan that spawned a game on a CDI. Sadly, the promised interactivity turns out to be nothing more than a series of boring, monotonous shoot-'em-ups against flashy full-motion video backdrops. Perhaps it's faithful to the series after all, then.
Cartoon and action programs are obvious choices to be made into games, but some brave coders have really pushed back the video game boundaries by attempting to convert ordinary programs like soaps, sitcoms and game shows.
The earliest one we've managed to find is Neighbours on the ZX Spectrum. You play Scott Robinson, as played by Jason Donovan in the series all those years ago, hurtling round Ramsey Street on your skateboard, racing against other neighbours' faces from the past and heading towards your ultimate confrontation with Mrs. Mangle.
There's also Allo Allo on the Amiga. Listen carefully, I shall say this only once. You have to guide Renee and Michelle on a quest for stolen art treasures. Our heroes have to avoid kamikaze birds, outwit guards, and leap from speeding trains, all in their inimitable Gallic style.
OK, that's soaps and sitcoms. Representing game shows, there's Countdown on the PC, giving you the chance to fulfil your dream to be a contestant on the intellectual game show. All the elements of the show we know and love are there. You can have the Countdown experience as much as you like in your own home. Excuse me, sir, would you like me to explain how the game works?
Well, if you can do it in 30 seconds, I'll be
I
very
can,
glad.
right, yes. Well, you see, what you've got to do is make as long a
Well,
word
at least I know they sold one copy. Now then, if you prefer music to TV, you need Virtual Violet's guide to the hottest places on the internet.
In cyberspace, every band can be found lurking somewhere, from Take That to Nirvana, and from Bjork to aging rockers like the Rolling Stones. So the stage is set for a new battle of the bands. The contenders, Blur, and Oasis, of course. Which group has the best official site on the World Wide Web? Round 1. The official Blur site is based on a notice board. There are song lyrics, pictures, video clips and sound samples. Elsewhere on the internet, I found a shareware audio player that lets you add all kinds of effects. Round 2. The Oasis web pages serve up info, lyrics and artwork, all in the band's own unique flavour. But the umbrella on the cocktail has got to be the complete rock and roll excess of sound and video. He's sexy, the Oasis web pages are sexy, and I'm sexy. So Oasis seriously look like winners. But this one's going the distance. Round 3. I've awarded Blur extra points for style. A quirky section shows you pages and pages of concert tickets stretching back over 4 years and photos taken by friends and family. Then there's the promise of any minute now updates on The Great Escape, their new album released this week. So, Blur win. But don't worry, Oasis can take it. They just roll with it.
Our main review this week is Comic Zone on the Mega Drive. It's a strategy beat-em-up with a difference. You take on the role of Sketch Turner, a comic book artist. One night, one of the evil dudes you've created comes to life and thrusts you into the pages of your own comic strip. The aim of the game is to escape. Biff! Kapow! But wait! Comic strips are separated into frames, and Sketch has got to find a way out of each of them. Zeus! What's more, the evil captor keeps drawing enemies for Sketch to fight before he can escape. Arrgh! Here's Lakesh.
The comic book style is an original way to present a platform beat-em-up. But apart from a few new ideas, it's basically the same as 100 other games. This game's very easy in that you use the same button to kick, the same button to punch, and the same button to pull out the special moves as well. In that sense, it becomes pretty boring because we're using the same button to do everything. Here, Mortis has just drawn in another character. Here, I've got two options of where to go. I'm going downwards because I think it'll probably be easier. There are many special items you can pick up throughout the game. Here, I'm picking up my rat. You can help me find special rooms, secret weapons. Among the secret weapons, you can get knives, bombs, and a super power-up which turns you into a superhero. By going through the manhole, I've reached the sewers now. I'm bored to death of beat-em-ups, and although this one isn't particularly bad, it's not particularly good either. There are some novel ideas in there, but unfortunately, they haven't been made the most of.
This is great. It's a new way of looking at a strategy beat-em-up game. If you like bold and vibrant comic book characters, then you'll love this one.
It's a fresh new idea for a platform beat-em-up, and it looks great. But for me, there's nothing special about the gameplay, and that's what counts.
And the scores for Comic Zone. The boys gave it a beat-em-ups, 3 out of 5. And the girls gave it a reserve my copy every week, 4 out of 5.
In America, they have what they call can-do people.
Sports guy orchestrated it.
And here in San Francisco, there are two can-do people who decided they want to make a television show.
Hey, wake up! Wake up!
So they did.
It's called Video Game Slams, and it goes out on San Francisco's CityVision cable TV network on Channel 53, the Community Access channel. Community Access means that anyone can have a go at making a programme. All you need are great ideas, and Video Game Slams is totally original.
Anyhow, that's all for now, Dr. Brandon Maxwell, and as always, I'll be seeing you.
And these are the two people behind Video Game Slams, director Michael Baldwin and producer Kimberly Baldwin. So this is the nerve centre of the operation, right?
Well, kind of. This is the office, and this is actually the flat, and this is our bedroom. This is the other part of our office. This is the other computer that I work on, and this is our upcoming games board.
Roomy.
This is our high-tech game area where we actually preview any of the games that we're going to use before the show, and then we use these different monitors and so forth to tape the clips that will roll in as we do it. Then the different systems that we would use would be the 32X unit, the Mega Drive, the Mega CD, we've got the SNES, the 3DO unit, the Atari Jaguar, and of course the newly released Sega Saturn. Very nice.
So no PlayStation yet then?
No PlayStation, but we do have the recently released in America PlayStation Hack.
So we keep everything we need for the show around the house. For example, in this closet, we keep our presenters.
Oh, hi!
Hey, why don't you come join us in here? Hey, Michael, when do we eat? Hey, sports guy here. Thank you.
Kimberly and Michael have asked me to be a guest presenter on the show. It's recorded on Sundays and takes about 3 hours of total mayhem. Right, I think I'd better wrap my game review now. Your eyes will be popping out on stalks. No.
Where's speed? And the music up.
It's me, Special Agent Ripley.
Each review is recorded in turn, and then they're edited together later.
Capture the flag, your goal.
Anything can happen on the show, so it's a good idea not to get too close to the action.
We're going to go all the way over here to special guest star Matthew the cameraman.
Oh, yes.
Let's get him out here, see what he can do. Let's be waiting on the game. Very good. Oh, very good.
Thank you, Matthew, the bad influence cameraman, for that informed games expert comment. Not. I've got to look my best because San Francisco is watching.
Oh, we're on. Hey, and welcome back to our special UK edition.
I'm reviewing Bug for the Saturn with Video Game Slams star reviewer, The Professor.
So let's bring on my special guest all the way from our sister station across the continent. Yes, it's the lovely and talented Violet Berlin.
My big moment, starring on US TV. And I even managed to include my games journalist's catchphrase.
It's Bug.
It is, it's Bug, and your eyes will be popping out on stalks when you see this one.
Yep.
It is huge, you're going to get lost, and you're not going to find many spit wads around. So you're going to end up, and the spit wads are different colours. They let you spit at your enemies to get rid of them.
One of the things that I was going to say that I really like, the stuff that you use for your power-up is bug juice.
Bug juice! Bug juice! What do you mean bug juice?
Oh, it's like, that's what you get whenever an insect hits your windshield at a really high rate of speed. So anyway, you know what? The director has given me that heads off sign, which either means that it's time to end the segment or I'm fired. So...
Stop our record tape, that's our wrap then. I guess we're done.
And what can be nicer than settling down in front of my favourite TV programme, Video Game Slams, with my favourite producers and my favourite presenters.
Love you, England. Love you. Hey, say hi to Chuck and Di for us, would you?
Unfortunately, you'll just have to put up with Andy and Sonia.
Hey, Michael, do we get to eat now?
And by a strange coincidence, our panel will be reviewing Bug later in the show. Be interesting to see if they feel the same way as Violet.
Well then, everybody, just let the standby director take over for a moment. You'll have to kneel, I'm afraid, because I'm borrowing your chair. We've just come up to the gallery because I want to show you this brilliant new software package called Nickelodeon Director's Lab, and it lets you fiddle around with videos and animations and loads and stuff. Anything from a toilet flushing to someone getting a pie in the face. But this is one of my favourites. It's called Aardvark. If I click at the bottom of the screen here on loop, the video will just play round and round and round and round. So I can show you that you can speed it up like that, or you could slow it down by clicking here, or you can make it bounce around the screen. You can make it go all the way around the edge of the screen. You can have 4 of them running at once, or better still, you can play around with some animations. Now, if I just call up one I was working on earlier on, at the top of the screen here, you can see the 21 different frames of my animation, and the last 3 here I just haven't finished yet. So I'll click on frame 19 and select the eye from over here, and you can just look at the top now. It was just leaving the top of frame in 18, so if I put it, say, there, in that one, I click on 20, I can put the eye here, and then in 21 we'll have it bouncing just off the bottom now. We can play that through, and there's my aardvark and bouncing eye animation. If I go out through this door into this kind of control or reception area, I can get some sound effects if I click in here. Listen to these chickens. If you don't like the sound effects that are in, you can actually record your own. Just click on record, standby studio, and run VT. Play myself back.
Standby studio.
Bit slow, that, isn't it? Here we go. Standby studio and run VT. So that's the video. We've had the sound effects. Where do you put it all together? In the director's lab. Just for argument's sake, let's pick a bit of my Aardvark video here. We can put that in there like that, and just any old music. Sounds jolly enough, doesn't it? And find some silly sound effects from the junk drawer. Play that all through. Yeah, well, you get the general idea. But where's the best place to view your finished work when you've put it all together? Where else but the screening room? So, ladies and gentlemen, I give you my famous Bad Influence animation sequence. There's been a very important computer game show going on in London this week. Naturally, the Bad Influence cameras were there, so... Standby studio and run VT.
It's big, bold and busting. ECTS 95 was held at Olympia this year, and there were more games to look at than perforations in a teabag.
On the Super Console side, there was plenty to see. This is the first time that Virtua Fighter 2 has been shown on the Saturn. The complex 3D sprites are almost identical to the arcade machine's fighters. The disc features new moves for the original characters, a fistful of new faces to deal with, and lots more detailed graphics.
Also making its first appearance on Saturn was Virtua Cop. Players have to pick off the 3-dimensional bad guys as they jump out of the screen before the villains fill them full of buckshot. The game will come packaged with the same gun that's chained to the arcade cabinet.
Everyone was out to get attention at the show, some with more dressing than others. But once you got past the Batmobile cars, globe-trotting stars, even nifty ball handling couldn't outshine the top games on offer.
Alien Trilogy has been around as a demo for years, but we can reveal that it's finally coming out for the PlayStation. As you'd imagine, the game features the extraterrestrial facehuggers themselves in a Doom-style game.
Another late arrival to the UK scene is the classic Neo Geo 3D blaster, Viewpoint. The isometric graphics have made it over to the PlayStation from the arcade machine and look even better.
Feel like restaging some of the most famous boxing matches in history? Well, now you can with Foes of Ali. Slug it out with a boxer of your choice or have Ali himself in your corner. Every fight can be viewed from tons of different angles, and the action gets hotter with every face-destroying blow.
Alien Odyssey's graphics on the PC easily rival those of the Super Consoles. The game's primarily an adventure, but for real laughs, slip onto the seat of a high-speed jet bike and scorch through the pine forests. Spectacular animations kick in as the story unfolds, but it's the clever mixture of arcade and adventure game styles that will keep you coming back for more. Fantastic, some brilliant-looking games there for new systems. Keep watching Bad Influence and we'll tell you what they're really like.
But don't fret if you've only got an older system, because there are still good games being made for them.
Time now for some more games reviews. A new cute hero hits the Saturn this week. He's lime green, has a wicked spike on his bum and goes by the name of Bug. Yes, even the Super Consoles have platform games with little extras like voice samples.
I hate that.
All the classic platform gameplay is there. Bug has to collect his power-ups and health points to beat the baddies and rescue his friends from the insect-eating Queen Cadabra. Here's Emily.
This is a game to be enjoyed by everyone. It's easy to get into and it looks amazing. You can kill enemies by either spitting at them or jumping on them and using the sting in your bum. That was a frog and a dragonfly which I just destroyed. Now I'm going to jump onto the waterfall and collect some blue crystals. Once I've got 100, I can go onto a bonus round at the end of the level. The waterfall's harder to walk on. The game looks great, sounds great, and it's one that you can play for hours and hours without becoming bored. This is the most playable game I've seen all year. Bug is bright and colourful, and the voice samples finish off a perfect game.
It's addictive. The 3D graphics are excellent, and the music's first class.
You just can't knock this game. Bug's got real personality. It makes a change from the ordinary run-of-the-mill 2D platformer. I love it.
And the scores for Bug, the boys gave it an excellent 4 out of 5, but the girls went all the way, a maximum 5 out of 5.
Vampire's Kiss is the long-awaited sequel to Super Castlevania 4. You take on the character of Richter, who has to fight his way through monster-maiming levels to rescue his kidnapped loved one and save the town from the dreaded Dracula. Was the sequel worth waiting for, or has Drac had his day? Here's Harry.
There's a lot of fuss made about the original Castlevania when it first came out 4 years ago, but unfortunately they don't seem to have improved it for this sequel. You just destroy everything that moves. It's all a bit monotonous. The gameplay is very basic, and the slow-moving character is really annoying. He just moves like a snail. This is actually the fastest that I can move throughout the whole game. If you're into old games with old ideas, then this is for you. But for me, this was more of a Vampire's Miss than a Vampire's Kiss.
It's extremely slow. The only thing I looked forward to was jumping off the walls and dying.
Playing this game for 5 minutes is more than enough.
Scores then for Castlevania Vampire's Kiss? Oh, low, so low. Both the boys and the girls gave it a minimum of 1. There's just time for the competition. We're giving away a Mega Drive with a copy of Comic Zone, and the question is, which comic books character who lives in Gotham City first appeared in Detectives Comics number 27? Was it A, Judge Dredd, B, Batman, or C, Spider-Man? Phone in your answers on 0891 800 300. That's 0891 800 300. Calls cost no more than 25 pence. The lines close at midnight on Sunday. And don't forget the most important thing, to let the person who pays the bill know you're calling.
That's right, you can't win if you don't ask permission, because we always check. Last week's competition prize was a Saturn with Panzer Dragoon. We asked you the question, what was the original meaning of the word Dragoon? The answer was soldier. We had over 12,000 entries, but well done, Joanne Ollie from Newcastle. You're our winner this week. Well done. 10 runners-up will get one of these. Come here. The Bad Influence Bad Crew T-shirts being modelled by one of our crew. Your name's going across the bottom of the screen now, so congratulations. And that's quite enough of you, Barry. Get off, please. Come here, come on, you're finished yet.
Don't forget our really exciting worldwide web page. The address is coming up in a moment. And also tune in next week, because we'll be looking at link-up games, including the amazing Destruction Derby. Bye.
See you next week, bye-bye.